You're always tired. You're always stressed. And you keep telling yourself, this is just life. But is it? Because lately it feels like you're not really living anymore. You're just trying to keep up. And if you're being honest, sometimes you're not even sure what you're trying to keep up with. You're just doing what you're supposed to do. But if you really sit with it, you start to notice that this isn't random. There's a fundamental mismatch between how we are built and how we're living. And there are four main shifts in how life is set up today that are quietly pushing you to stay constantly on while somehow feeling completely off. The first shift is speed. We are built for natural rhythms, but we're living on fast forward. Everything is fast now. You brush your teeth like you're late for something, even when you're not. You eat your food like you're in some kind of race. You open a message and start replying before you've even fully read it. Nothing is urgent, but your body doesn't know that anymore. Fast became the norm, and anything slower started to feel wrong. When the internet is slow, you get irritated. If someone doesn't reply fast, you start creating stories in your head, wondering what's going on. We've lost the ability to just wait, to let things take their time, to not rush everything. And I'm no different. Just last week, I was going out with my daughter to grab some lunch, and I kept saying, "Come on, fast, let's go, faster." And she just looked at me and said, "Who's chasing us, Mommy?" And I just had to stop, because really, who's chasing us? And that's the thing. It's not about urgency. It's about learned pressure. You don't just move through tasks faster. You move through moments faster. Meals, conversations, activities. Even resting starts to feel like something you have to get through. And then something else happens. Time starts to feel strange. How many times have you talked about something you were sure happened a year ago, only to realize it was years ago? Or a week goes by and you're not sure where it went. It's not that time moved faster. It's that your brain skipped recording the details because there's just too much happening. And that's why few memories stick and everything starts to feel like one big blur. It's like we're living for the highlight reel, but missing the real movie. So the next time you catch yourself rushing through lunch, rushing your kids, or even rushing yourself in the shower, just pause and ask, is this actually urgent? And if it's not, say it. This is not an emergency. Then take your time. Reclaim that one moment, because that's how you slowly get your time back bit by bit. The second shift is access. We are built for focus, but we're living in constant interruptions. Everything is one click away, one scroll away, one prompt away. And that sounds great until it's not. Because you're not just distracted. Your attention doesn't belong to you anymore. How many times has this happened to you? You open your phone to reply to one message or check something, and 15 minutes later, you're doing something completely different, and you can't even remember why you picked your phone in the first place. It's frustrating because it's that easy. Once you're pulled in, you just keep going. And you know what's wild? Studies have shown that we check our phones more than 50 times every single day, and most of the time without even realizing it. And it's not just distraction. Look at what you're actually consuming. You scroll, and in seconds you go from a joke to heartbreaking news to a get ready with me to celebrity drama to a health tip to how the world is doomed. It's crazy. It's like being on a roller coaster. When it's over, you don't even know what just happened. You just know you've been through a lot and now you're done. And this is where it gets deeper. It stops being about your phone and starts becoming about how your brain works. Every time you scroll, your brain learns. We don't need to process this. We don't need to stay. We don't need to feel. We just move on. Skip the thought, skip the emotion, skip the experience. And over time, this shows up in your life too. You become less patient. You zone out in conversations. You rush people. You almost wish you could mute or swipe away from the person in front of you the same way you do on your phone. And here's where it gets trickier. Because we have access to so much, we're falling into the illusion of knowledge. Something comes up, you remember a clip you watched, and you think, I already know about that. But the truth is, you're just recognizing it. Because seeing something quickly isn't the same as understanding it. And this shows up in your interactions. You cut people off. You assume you know where they're going, and you stop being curious. Conversations just get shorter and shallower, and we wonder why. It's because no one is staying long enough to actually connect and understand. So sometimes we just need to hold our horses and let them finish. And when you start doing that, you'll notice that all of this access isn't just distraction. It's a quiet kind of disconnection. So here's a challenge. The next time you're scrolling, notice that tiny wake-up signal, that split second where you go, wait, how long have I been on here? And in that moment, act immediately. Put your phone down. Don't say one more minute or just one more video. Because if you wait, the automatic habit will win. Trust me, I've been there before, more times than I'd like to admit. It's like my hand wants to put the phone away, but my thumb just keeps going, and I hate it when my thumb wins. So, who's going to win your next fight? The third shift is one we don't always notice: constant improvement. We're naturally built for expression, for saying what we mean and playing with ideas as they come. But we're living in a time where everything can be improved. Your message, your tone, your response, your image. So you find yourself doing just that. But here's what happens. Just because something can be improved, you start thinking you should improve it. You finish something, and instead of feeling done, you suddenly hesitate. Does this sound right? Maybe I can make this better. And the truth is, you probably can. But that's exactly the problem, because now good doesn't feel good enough. There's this constant pressure to polish things, and I've definitely found myself in it. Now, honestly, with all the technology and AI available to us, we don't even have to sit in that discomfort anymore. We can just fix it instantly, which sounds like a win until you realize that's where you get stuck. Because you're not just doing things anymore. You're carrying the weight of what they could be. And slowly, this starts to affect how you see yourself. You start second-guessing things that used to feel natural to you. You stop being satisfied even when you've done well. You delay finishing things until you run them through AI. And that works. But here's the real question. What happens when these tools are not available? Would you still feel okay sending that message or posting what you want to post without trying to make it sound or look a certain way? Because the more you rely on these tools, the less you trust yourself in real time. And that's where your confidence starts to slip. Now, something else also starts to shift. What you say and how you show up starts to feel less like you and more like everyone else. Sometimes it even feels like it's AI talking to AI and we're just the messengers. So here's something to try. Give yourself at least one moment a day where you don't edit yourself. Send the message without overthinking it. Post the picture without the filter. Say what you want to say exactly as you would say it. And when you feel that urge to fix it, pause and ask yourself, do I actually need to make this better, or am I just used to doing this? Is this actually unfinished, or am I just uncomfortable stopping? If it's done, let it be done. Not perfect, not optimized, just real, just yours. And the more you practice that, the more you come back to who you are, and the more you break that invisible pressure to perform. Because here's what we're forgetting. We're forgetting that our imperfections are our human fingerprints. That's how people recognize us. That's how we build trust. But when we always use AI and other tools to fix our words and our looks, it's like we're sanding off our fingerprints and erasing part of our uniqueness. This brings us to the last shift. We're living in a world of blurred boundaries when we're really built for presence. But we didn't always live like this. We used to have more separations. Work was work, home was home, fun was fun. Each had its own space and time. But now, everything happens in the same place, on your phone, on your laptop, in your room. You're sitting with your family and replying to work emails. You're out with friends and part of you is still on your phone. You're at work and your attention is on the news. And it sounds convenient, but something about it feels off. 1 minute you're ending a work meeting all composed and professional. Then right after, you're texting a friend all casual and silly. Then something emotional pops up and you're reacting to it loudly. It's like you don't even get a moment to settle into one version of yourself before you're pulled into another. You're not just switching tasks. You're switching how you show up over and over again. And it's not that you're busy. You're fragmented. That's why you feel scattered, like you're not fully here or there, just in between everything. The tricky part is this all looks like flexibility. You can work from anywhere. You can reply anytime. You can stay connected to everything. On paper, this sounds like freedom, but in reality, it quietly turns into expectation. And that's where it shifts from I can respond anytime to I should respond anytime. Flexibility starts to turn into blurred boundaries. And nothing really feels closed or done. It's like you're moving through your day with crumbs from everything you've touched still on you. A bit of work here, a bit of conversation there, something you saw earlier, something you still need to reply to. And none of it is big on its own, but together, they're heavy. It's like keeping your anxiety on low heat. And over time, you're not sure what it is, but you feel the burn. Now, here's something to remember. Just because everything around you is flexible doesn't mean you're meant to be that way all the time. If anything, it's quite the opposite. The more everything blends together, the more you need to stay grounded. Not rigid, not extreme, just clear. Clear about when you're done. Clear about what can wait. Clear about what you're actually doing in that moment. So, what can you change? Start creating endings again. Finished with that screen? Close it. Finished with work? Step away. Finished with the game? Stand up. Finished with dinner? Put the plates away. And if something is still in your head, write it down so you don't have to carry it. Don't keep things lingering. Don't live your life as a never-ending continuous effort. Because the more things stay open, the more your mind stays on. It's like having 50 tabs open on your screen all at once and manually clicking that X to close those you're not using. Because when you start recognizing endings again, you start feeling like you can actually rest. We're living in a time where the world around us is moving at a speed we weren't necessarily built for. Between the constant access, the pressure to optimize everything, and the boundaries that keep blurring, it's no surprise you feel tired or constantly on edge. And it's easy to feel that you are the problem. But you are not. You're just a human being trying to navigate a system designed for a machine. And the more you try to keep up with that machine, the more of yourself you leave behind. So, if you take anything away from this, take this with you. Your natural self, the unedited, unoptimized, one place at a time version of you is still the best version there is. So today, give yourself permission to be a little slower. Finish one thing, share things in your own words, put your phone down. Because when you stop trying to keep up with everything, you finally give yourself a chance to catch up with you. Thank you for sharing your time with me today. I'd love to hear what stood out for you. And don't forget to show my channel some support. And always remember, you've got this more than you think. I'll see you in the next one. Ciao.